started, I'll do a quick introduction on PACE, Pacific Asian Consortium in Employment. We are a 501c nonprofit organization. So our business department offers one-on-one business counseling, credits and asset building, business and financial plan development, webinars and training to help you establish a brand new business or help your existing business. And we can also guide you through our procurement department if you're interested in business or private contracting. The greatest fact is that all our services are free. So if you have any questions about our services, programs, or lending products, please visit our website, pacelabdc.org for more information. All right, let's dive into our topic of the day. Pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so much. So today we're talking about repurposing content that we've already got. And why do that? Because it's such a time saver. You put your energy, your money, your creativity into creating your content. Let's get as much mileage out of it as we can. Before we start, just a little bit about me. My name is Ronnie Ramos. My company is Harmony 3 Productions. And we had a little mix up in the first intro, but yes, this is my company and it's really, really three of us. And we are now these days called digital creators. That means anything online to having to do with social media marketing, content creation, your business strategy, all online. We do that. That's our wheelhouse. So I want to be with you in a session today. If you have questions, raise your hand. If you can post in the chat on the webinar. I want to have this be a conversation, not just me talking to you. I want to talk with you. I want us to be able to figure out solutions that you need for your business actually today. So that's how I work with my regular clients. It's always give and take. I feel like we're part of a team. I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, I'm Ronnie Ramos, and on all other social, I'm under my business name, which is Harmony 3 Productions. I would love to have you sign up for my newsletter if you want my best tips on a semi-regular basis. I like to think of my newsletter as a place where I can talk to you about things that I'm thinking are great, haven't really delved too deep in them, and trying new things all the time. And I do like to share that. And maybe it's not quite ready for a full webinar yet, but a great place to see what I'm working on in this area of digital marketing. All right. Uh-oh, what happened there? Okay, let's see here. All right, so hopefully you see my slides still. That was strange. I'm going to try one more time, see if I can get to the next page. Yes. Perfect. Okay. The big idea with repurposing is you're sitting on a gold mine of unused content. Every blog post you have already, every email, if you do speeches or social updates, it can be transformed into multiple assets, right? Without starting from scratch. I love this. Now, why does it matter? Because a lot of marketers say that content creation is their biggest time drain. More leads are generated by businesses that repurpose consistently. And what do I mean by that? It means you've already put this time and energy and money into a piece of content. You keep utilizing it. In the content's not going to change. The bulk of your content, you can repurpose that across different channels, and you can even use it in different formats, right? For different platforms. You can even tweak it a little bit if the platforms are wildly different, like LinkedIn and TikTok are crazy different, but your content is still valuable. And one piece of content, you can easily generate 10 new things, but based on that content. And yes, I use AI to help me create all of these things that we're talking about. There we go. All right. So the goal is not to create more and more and more, but create smarter. So we're going to be thinking in systems, not just, I got to do a post today, what's it going to be about? That there's planning behind your content so that every piece of content you generate can have many iterations of it. And there are definite different formats necessary for different audiences and different platforms. As I was mentioning before, TikTok, radically different from LinkedIn. But what if you have clients on both, right? That look and feel should be different, but the content can be the same. And repetition really does build authority, and it doesn't bore people, and they might not see it all the time. Maybe 20% of your clients see your stuff on LinkedIn, and 5% see it on TikTok, and another 60% see it on Facebook or Instagram. They're not necessarily seeing the same piece of content. And like I said, you can visually change it up a little bit, but repurposing is such a great way to get out consistent content. So you've got one pillar, one main piece of content that we're going to share into multiple pieces. So what counts as your pillar content? Well, you're going to start with your best raw material. Maybe it's a long form blog post, and you can turn that into, so many different things. Maybe it's a podcast episode or recorded videos. All of these are long. Webinars, workshops, or video trainings, presentations, keynote talks, those are all long form content. Your email newsletters, or maybe you have some nurture sequences in your sales funnel. What about ebooks or guides or white paper? Anything that you've already created that's long form, you can break up and create so much more with it. So let's talk about repurposing, say, your blog content. One article, turn it into 5 different touch points. One blog post can do at least 10 social updates. Pull a key stat, one compelling number with a bold visual. That's a great social post. Maybe it's a quote sequence. Maybe the most memorable line becomes a shareable graphic. Tease the intro, post the opening hook to your article, and link to the full article. I do this all the time for clients. Ask the question. Turn your post premise into engagement. Asking questions. We all kind of have opinions and we like to post them. So asking a question, you'd be surprised, you'd get a lot of engagement on your post. Maybe create a mini list, take out 3 to 5 tips, and you can make a carousel post or a thread with that particular content. Now, what about your blog going into your email? I talked about my email, right? So your subscribers to your email, they want your best ideas delivered. Like I said, on my email, it's maybe not my best, but it's the ones I'm thinking about currently that hopefully will be a best. But it should be content that I want to share. It's valuable content because it's new and fresh. The takeaway is never link just to your post, right? You want to send value-rich summary that stands alone, right? And then you invite your readers deeper. So you can rewrite the intro as a personal story or an observation. Maybe you summarize 3 takeaways in your own voice, right? Add one exclusive tip that's not in the original post. I always love this idea of adding something extra. Close with a clear call to action. And while I'm on the topic of call to action, we're business owners, so we're creating content for a reason. If you are just putting out text or images and there's no clear call to action, how are you going to know if people are reading your articles, watching your videos, or buying your product or using your service? That call to action really lets you see whether your marketing efforts are just kind of spray and pray or are actually you're taking people to where you want them to go. That's that call to action. Visit our website, sign up for our newsletter, come to my video, whatever it is. Have a call to action so you can track whether your social is really getting the message across that you want it to. So what about turning that blog post into a video or a reel? Your blog post already is kind of a script. You have a hook, that 0 to 3 seconds. Turn your title into a bold question or a claim. You have a problem, 3 to 10 seconds. state the pain point from your intro, and then your value, the 10 to 45 seconds. Deliver your top 3 takeaways, one per beat. And then call to action, drive to the full post. Remember, we're just making a short little video, taking the highlights from your post, drive them to your blog post, which is on your website. Maybe it's your, sign up for your newsletter, whatever you want that call to action to be. What about turning it into a podcast episode? Speak about what you've already written. Use your subheads as an episode talking point, right? Read key passages and then add personal commentary. Invite a guest to debate your post's central argument. Run a listener Q&A episode using your post as a brief, or maybe you record a behind the post explaining your research. And it doesn't have to be a podcast. It could be you on Instagram or Facebook Live. It could be a little video set up in a podcast setting. There's so many ways to repurpose. Anybody have any specific questions about what we're talking about so far? I don't see any in chat. I'd love to see it in chat. Or like I said, you can raise your hand, and I'm going to open up participants here so I can see if anybody raises their hand. And I definitely encourage you again, if you have any questions, now's a great time when we can talk about it together. All right. What about repurposing your audio and your video? Your recordings and content, definitely gold mines here. Video is really how most content is being delivered these days. If you're not using video, I highly encourage you to try to get your feet wet with it. If you are having problems with reach on your social, try some video. Try some video that asks questions, and let's see what other suggestions I've got here for video for you. Okay. When you make a video, you can kind of do the reverse. So what we just talked about, you can turn that into a blog post. Auto transcribe your whole video. You can use things like, Otter AI or Rev or Descript. Basically, you're just getting a transcript of what your video says. Then you can clean up that transcript. You can remove the filler words and add some structure to it, and write a real intro. Hook readers who weren't on that video call. Add screenshots. Embed key video moments as images. And then your SEO and metadata, your title, your description, your keywords, all of that can go in the text part of your videos, because you want your content to go to your audience, but you also want it to go to the algorithm. And the algorithm can't really see what's happening or understand what's happening in your video yet. Of course, it will get there because AI is changing every 10 minutes. But right now, you have to put the transcript in there for it to understand, or you can use closed captions. Those are the things that the AI can read and understand. So do keep in mind that when you are using video, your content absolutely should be geared towards your audience, your dedicated audience, and your audience is different than mine, different than everybody else's in here. But your main audience member is typically the algorithm, because that's who's going to show your video content to more people. Make it easy for the algorithm to know what your video is about, what the pain point is, what the question that people are asking. This is one of the keys to think about when you're making video. What are you going to make a video about? I want you to make video about things that your audience is asking those questions, right? You all know your frequently asked questions, things people should ask. You can research what people are asking about in your industry. That's the kind of content you could make, but tie that into the actual question that people are typing in search, because if you've got that in your either closed captions or transcripts, algorithm will see that. It knows people are asking for that. Much better chance that they will share your video to more people. All right. What if you do have podcasts? So your audio is already great. Work it overtime. You can show notes, your show notes on the blog post. That could be a summary plus timestamps and links. your email newsletter. You can share the top 3 insights from that episode. What about an audiogram clip? Maybe a little highlight with, the waveform as the visual. Quote graphics, memorable lines, and shareable images. What about a LinkedIn article? Deep dive on one of the guest insights. If you have long videos, they're great. They do well on YouTube, but on other social, it's short form. So cut. You don't have to record from scratch. Reels and TikTok, 15 to 60 seconds, and vertical clips of key moments. Maybe you filmed it not in vertical, but there are ways you can slide the image over, especially using something like Canva, so that it will look okay in vertical format. If you are filming from scratch now, the way most content on social is vertical video. So think about if you're filming with your phone, hold it vertical. LinkedIn videos do amazingly well. Those are a little bit longer in form, typically maybe 90 seconds, can be insights or clips with your captions burned in. I do like to burn in my captions, and that just means that most people can select the closed captions on any of the platforms. Captions can be generated automatically. But if you burn in your captions, they can really look customized. They can look very unique and really polished. So I definitely like that idea. You can also use it on Twitter or X, clips, and keep everything short, no matter what platform you're on, under 2 minutes for maximum reach. 2 minutes, I always say, only your mom is still watching at 2 minutes. Okay. Now, what about repurposing your email content? Your best emails, yes, they deserve a second life. So your email can become a blog or a LinkedIn article. And I think you can see where we're going with this. You take one thing and you can turn it into more things. If your email got great replies, let's show it to a wider audience, people who haven't subscribed. You can identify your emails with a high open rates or reply rates. Those are your winners. Then you can expand that central idea with more examples and data. You can write a new SEO optimized headline. So your subject line becomes your blog title. When I say SEO optimized, that's kind of changing now. Now there's GEO and AEO. SEO, GEO, AEO, all of it is really hard to tease out. Specialists in that area do phenomenal. But you know who's a specialist in that area? Is AI. Ask AI to help you generate an optimized headline for search. I would do that on anything that you're working on for the titles and headlines, because that is the new way that you are getting found. Really, it's important that the AI know what your content is about. Add the internal links to related posts and products or services, and publish on your blog if you have it, and cross post to your social, especially LinkedIn, or if you're on Medium. Now, if you have an email series, what about turning that into a lead magnet or an ebook? Your nurture sequence, it's already a mini course. You can compile 5 to 7 related emails into chapters. Then you can add a strong intro and a summary, call to action at the end. Design it as a PDF and gate it behind an opt-in form. And what do I mean by that? They have to give you their email to get it. What you want is to build your email list. What better way than giving them a really valuable ebook? And the bonus is that repurposing the lead magnet back into social posts and emails, again, you're repurposing and reusing content that you have put such time and effort into. Okay, I'm gonna keep looking over here. Any questions yet? All right.
Yes, actually,
Yes.
we have a question
Yes.
in the question and Q&A box. Can you demonstrate an example of changing a speech, for example, into something smaller with AI?
Yes. Okay, so I am in Canva itself right now. So I'm going to, that's why I love presenting in Canva. I'm going to pop out of there and I'm going to go into ChatGPT and I'll show you exactly how I would do that. All right. So let's do an example. For a webinar I'm having right now. Just for an example, this is how I work with AI. I talk to it just like I'm talking to a person. For this example, write me. I'm going to put a 500 word. And the question was a script or what was the long form piece? Was it a 500 word?
Didn't specify. It says changing a speech.
Okay, 500 word speech about PACE and its procurement. What would you call your procurement services?
Services.
And then take the speech into social posts or what would, or a video?
Let's try a social post first.
Okay. I'm going to put 3 social posts. Okay, so the question was example of a speech and then turn that into different social posts. So just for this example, I'm asking for a short speech, 500 words about PACE and its procurement services, and then turning that into social media posts. So let's see what it does. 500 word speech about PACE procurement service. One of the biggest opportunities for small businesses is also one of the most intimidating, procurement. When we talk about procurement, we're talking about the process of selling your products or services to larger organizations, government agencies, blah, 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 blah. This is pretty good speech about one of the services that PACE offers. So this is our long form content, okay? 500 words. Then I asked for, let's take that speech and turn it into 3 social media posts. Post 1, educational. Procurement can open big doors for small businesses, but the process can feel confusing at first. That was right from that first paragraph. Vendor portals, certifications, capability statements, bid requirements, deadlines, follow-up. PACE helps small business owners understand how procurement works and how to get better prepared for contract opportunities. That's great. Then post number 2, friendly and encouraging. Remember, same content, formatted differently, but based on that long form content. Have you ever wondered how small businesses get contracts with cities and agencies, schools, or larger organizations? It starts with understanding procurement. PACE helps owners learn what buyers are looking for, how to prepare their materials, taken right from the long form content. Post number 3, stronger call to action. Government and corporate contracts are not just for big companies. Small businesses can compete too, but preparation matters. PACE procurement services can help business owners understand bid opportunities, strengthen capability statements, navigate vendor requirements, and become more contract ready. If your business is ready to grow beyond word of mouth referrals, procurement may be one of the next doors to explore. That's got a clear call to action on it.
Wow.
Wow, right? So anybody else want to see an idea of something in your industry vertical, how exactly what I'm talking about with this? Okay, so I can write a speech without actually giving it and turning it into a social post. Yes. And you wouldn't have to call it a speech. You could call it a blog post. You could call it, a LinkedIn white paper and use it as the long form and in smaller forms. But when I am repurposing content, I start with the long form. Absolutely. So it gives you something to work with. Okay.
All right. So, Ronnie, that was ChatGPT, right? That you entered the prompt.
Yes.
Yeah, that was ChatGPT.
So I use several of the AI models these days. So I use ChatGPT. I've been using Manus a lot, and I'm recently using Claude quite a bit. So, fun fact, the presentation that I'm giving you today that you saw me just pop out of, let's see, this webinar started at 1 o'clock. I did that at 12:45, the whole thing, all done with help of AI. Now, I have my presentation already done, right? It's already done. The content is there, but it wasn't put into a PowerPoint, something that I could share as a webinar. And I used Claude for this one. It did a pretty good job in, I think it was a total of 10 minutes that it took to do that. Using AI for your business can streamline your process at unbelievable speed. And I'm talking from personal experience. I'm not saying have it write everything for you. You need to drive it. You need to make sure, like that original speech for PACE, you would have to read through that carefully and approve it and make sure that it wasn't making things up out of thin air. That goes for all of you. Anything that you are utilizing that AI has generated, watch every bit of it. You be the human that approves it. Okay. All right.
Okay, and we have more questions.
Okay, yes.
New Early Learning Center. Yes, indeed it is. And another question about how about a video about charitable organization?
Okay, so let's just jump right in. So a charitable organization, you have specific ways to try to reach to donors or volunteers, and you don't want to sound salesy. So I would utilize ChatGPT to help with that. So this is how I would type it in. Okay, great. Thanks. I'm always polite to it because when they take over, I want them to remember I was friendly. Okay.
I did that too.
Now, long form for a charitable organization. What type of, you can just tell me what sector. Is it like animal rescue? Is it, disenfranchised individuals? Just so I can give chat a little bit more information.
I didn't specify. Can we try if this is charitable? Can we go
I'm just going to
with
say pet rescue.
Yeah, pet. Yes.
Okay, 3 social posts. Okay, so our long form is going to be 250 words, but you can make it whatever you want. Okay, pet rescue organizations do some of the most heartfelt work in our communities. They step in when animals are abandoned, neglected, surrenders, or simply need a second chance. But behind every adoption photo and happy tail wag is a tremendous amount of work. A successful pet rescue is not just about finding homes for animals. It involves medical care and foster coordination, transportation, food, supplies, volunteer management, adoption events, fundraising, and ongoing community outreach. Okay, goes on and on and on. I'm just going to say for this example, it did a great job. Social media posts. Post 1, storytelling focus. Storytelling, no matter what your business, is really how we connect with each other. It's all the way back from sitting around, as cave people behind a fire, right? We're telling stories. Behind every adoption photo is a bigger story. This is the rescue ride, the vet visit, the foster home, the food, the care, the patients, and the people who refuse to give up. Pet rescue is not just about finding homes. It's about giving animals the time and safety and love they need to become ready for their next chapter. Every donation, foster, volunteer, adoption, and shared post helps make that possible. Not too salesy, but it is pulling on them heartstrings. Great job. Post 2, volunteer or donor focus. Pet rescues do not run on love alone, although there's plenty of it. they also need volunteers and foster families and food and supplies, medical care, transportation, and community support. That's why every act of help matters. Whether you donate, foster, volunteer, adopt, or simply share a post, you're helping create a second chance for animals who need them most. Small actions can make life-changing differences. So that one, stronger call to action, but still, it's not just like donate, become a foster. It's really telling that story to get you to act. Post 3, community call to action. Looking for a way to make a difference in your community? Support a local pet rescue. Adopt if you're ready. Foster if you have space. This makes me want to go out and foster a dog, right?
Yes.
So whatever your business is, you can utilize these tools to work with your existing long form content or create new long form content for you. Okay.
Okay. What about we turn the prompt into a video? Can we
Okay.
do that?
All right. Great. Now for the pet rescue, let's do a video script. I'm going to put a 60-second video. So that's a long video. Close up of a dog or a cat looking into the camera. Soft, hopeful music. So it's giving you scene direction for your video in the script. That's amazing. Giving you the voiceover. Every animal deserves a safe place to land. But for many pets, the journey to loving homes starts with uncertainty. I can just see this already. The dog's like, "Meow." Some are abandoned, some are surrendered, some need medical care, patience, and time to learn to trust again. Behind every adoption photo is a team of people working quietly in the background, foster families, volunteers, transport helpers. So it's giving you the whole voiceover. But I want more than that. I want a scene-by-scene voiceover and image. A scene-by-scene storyboard. Oh, if I could spell. And timing. So I'm asking for a full-blown script. Look at this. From 0 to 4 seconds, every animal deserves a safe place to land. The visual, close-up of a dog or cat looking directly into the camera, soft eyes, calm, emotional opening. From 4 seconds to 8 seconds, built for many pets, a journey to a loving home starts with uncertainty. Visual, the animal in a kennel or a shelter space. It's giving you exactly what I asked for. Now, I see a question here. Can we only create video script with ChatGPT, or can we create a whole video or reel with it? Not in ChatGPT, but there are some amazing video tools out there. Until 3 weeks ago, I was saying, yeah, video, it's not quite there yet, and I was not using it for clients. 3 weeks ago, that changed. The new Seedance, SEEDANCE, got released into, the wild. Everybody can, sign up and play with it. These programs can get very expensive quickly because you're running on tokens, right? But it is text to video. Whatever you want, you can create. It's pretty amazing. Let me know by some hand raises. Anybody want to see one? I think I can probably pull one up.
Actually, yeah, there was a question from Jet. How will videos to
Okay, let me see if I can pull that one up and show you.
Yes. I was just gonna text everyone for that website that you just mentioned.
I'm gonna see if I can pull this up. It's amazing. I literally, usually I'm never at a loss for words, and I couldn't even talk. It was incredible. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. All right, so you should see my Wistia screen. So Harmony 3 is 3 of us, but it really ought to be called 3.5, because we have an amazing scriptwriter on staff. He is a New York Times best-selling author. He's worked on Hollywood productions. He knows his way around a script, and he hates AI. But I said, look, we got to try this. Now the videos are looking great. Let's try this. He goes, okay. When we started getting the pieces, and there are many pieces to this, but I just want to show you what you can do. And this was our first attempt. When he saw the first pieces come through, he goes, this is a heartless, soulless tool that totally understands me. And that's from a poet. So let me play you this little video. It's just 57 seconds long. It is based on a poem that he wrote about Los Angeles. And yeah, there was not one piece of filming in this. It's all AI generated. Let me play it for you.
It's always been magic to me how the night air and tacos at 2 a.m. always washes away the smoke and sweat from another week burned through. The weight of the city, the buzz of the music, the voices of strangers, the chaos of living. For a little while, all of it smoothed out and smoldering.
Hey girl, what's up?
There's a whole Sunday between now and the morning freeway traffic, the broken AC, the bosses and time clocks. A lot of the words get past me, but those corridos, so full of tragedy and vengeance, they all sound like love songs to me.
I think that's amazing. I am
Crazy.
I'm,
Wow.
yeah, wow. I'm blown away by that. Yeah, that is all AI generated. Except for the script was written by a script writer, right? And it's based on one of his poems, and that is him reading it. Everything else is AI generated. So yeah, there's that. Any questions on what you just saw? Because that's all part of it. The AI, as I mentioned, is Seedance, Seedance, and there's many platforms that have it incorporated into it. I used Higgsfield, was what the platform we use, but it's that engine is Seedance. And like I said, 3 weeks ago or a month ago, I was like, nah, it's not quite ready yet. 3 weeks ago, I was like, yep, here we are. And that was the first thing we ever tried to generate was that, and I'm blown away. It's crazy.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there was a question from Jet. How much would it cost to create a motion avatar or to be the visuals for the info videos to promote my new website?
Okay,
Is it cost friendly or how much do you have to
let
pay?
me pull up questions because there was a lot to that question. Okay, so Jet, so your website is about assisted living, memory care, board and care. Okay, so when you're saying to create a motion avatar, so the term avatar, how I'm using it these days is it can be you or it can be a made up person, but it's AI person who could represent you or your business. Like I said, could be you. I make avatars of me all the time, and they're looking pretty good these days. I always call it an upgrade because it looks better than me. But I always am transparent, saying this is AI Ronnie or Ronnie V2 or whatever we're going to call it. But that's what I'm saying, an avatar. So, Jet, do you want to unmute so we can have a conversation about this?
That's a great idea.
So these days, video is so important, and having somebody be on your video, in your video is really important too. So avatars definitely have a place, and there's definitely a place not for them. And that would be anytime that it's sensitive information, anytime that you want to have that personal connection with who you're talking to, even though it's through a camera. So you know your business. But again, I kind of want to get an idea of what you mean by avatar. So Jet, did you want to raise your hand? We can have you unmute.
Hello.
Hello. So
I saw your last presentation or seminar, and I saw your avatar, and I invested in this amazing website that's huge and has a ton of resources on it. And I was told to make videos or posts with a link to each different page for all
nice.
these different resources. But I don't really want to put myself on the video, so I was thinking maybe I could cheat and do the avatar.
So you
But
don't want to put
maybe
yourself,
now,
do you mind if your avatar is you, or you want like a generic avatar?
oh no, it would be
Perfect.
me. It's just I'm not that comfortable in front of the camera.
Okay.
So
And that,
I would love to have a cheat way to do these videos so that I wouldn't have to do it 10 times because I said 5 times or something.
Yes, I know exactly that. Okay, I'm trying to pull up, let me pull up real quick here, sample,
Thank you.
so people can see what we're talking about.
Yeah, but if it's not personal, then I probably shouldn't do it because my job is all about being an advocate for seniors. It's a free service.
The only thing that you could do would be talk in generic terms or general terms about your industry, you know what I'm saying? Not talking about I do this. I don't want them to think it's when it should be you, it's not, if that makes any sense. Let me see if I can pull up my posts here.
So it would be to promote, like, say, a section on board and cares or a section on low income resources. And then I would put the link in there to that new page on my new website.
I think it's a really good idea, and you'd have to try a couple and see what you thought. Maybe run it by, some friends, family, colleagues, and see if they thought, I don't know. But I think you could phrase it and use ChatGPT to help you phrase it so that they're not going to feel like the wool was being pulled over their eyes. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay, so here's just some samples of an avatar. So this was an event. Let's see. You should be able to hear this too. This is a generic AI avatar. We didn't build this, but there's generic ones you can use. Let's see.
Things, goals, new plans. So we saved you a seat. It's your chance to reset your brand, enjoy great networking, a relaxed breakfast, and hear from inspiring speakers who actually get small business. This event is hosted by SCORE Orange County, and it's called Brand New Year, Brand You. Join us on Wednesday, January 14th from 8:30 to 12:30 in Laguna Niguel. Registration is closing soon, and we'd love to see you there.
So she's a fake person, but I told her to hold this, date in her hand. That looks pretty good to me. Let me see if I can find. Okay, so here's one of me. Ground. Creativity doesn't show up fully formed. It shows up messy, half finished, and usually inconvenient. Sometimes the best ideas arrive when you're not trying or when something completely unexpected walks into the room. You don't need to feel inspired to be creative. You just need a way to start. In my January 8th webinar, I'll share simple ways to get unstuck, like how to lower the pressure, change your starting point, and use structure to unlock ideas. So that just gives you an idea. That was me, but I'm totally comfortable that being, AI Ronnie talking about a webinar that I have coming up.
That was AI.
That was AI.
That's what I want to
do. So
how much would it cost for you to teach me how to do that?
So I do one-on-one consulting to teach people how to use the tools. Absolutely. And just, reach out to me separately. I can put my email in chat at the end.
Okay.
but the tools that I use, and like, I don't gatekeep. I tell you, okay, I use this, but a lot of times people need, hand holding how to do those tools. So there's multiple steps to this. I cloned my voice first, right? And I use a separate tool for that, 11 Labs. Then I use Hey Gen to make the video, but I used a different AI to make my still image, right? So I think it's, I'll have to think of what the name of it is. But you just upload like 6 selfies and it gives you, great, it's Aragon, Aragon, gives you great business photos. So it gave me one sitting at a desk. I didn't like the desk with a white shirt on. So I took, like I said, this is multiple steps because this is what I do for a living, right? So I was going to make mine have all the bells and whistles. So I took the headshot that I liked, white shirt, and I had AI put it in a living room space or desk space that reflected my brand colors, and that's my website on the monitor screen. So that was just a still image. Then I took it into Hey Gen and uploaded what I wanted it to say. I already had my voice clone, so it took my voice, my script, and animated the still image. It's unbelievable what you're able to do these days. Yes. Okay, any other questions? Economic AI creators, do you mean, what do you mean by that? Kay Ford.
Cost friendly, I'm guessing, like with
But
less.
when you say an AI creator, is that somebody like me who does AI creation for clients, or are you looking for a tool you can use for you? Most of all of the tools are subscription based. And the more you use them, they, have so many tokens you can use during the month. You can run out of tokens, and then it starts to get expensive. So I would look at the different ones, but all of them are paid. And I don't think the word economical probably goes in that sentence. Okay, tools for you, yes. So all of them are, they're not horribly expensive to start, but you run out of those tokens pretty quickly. So if you're going to use one of them, I would start simple, so you get a sense of the tool. And as you get more involved in it, you can do longer AI, whatever you want to do, whether it's just scripting or whether it's creating the video itself. Let's see. It's Hey Gen. I'm going to put that in HEYGEN is what made the avatar talk and move. And it's gotten incredibly great. Yes. And voice cloning is 11 Labs. And I'm putting that in chat also. Okay. Any other questions here? Yeah, C-Dance is the generator for the fancy video that I showed you. There are many platforms that have it included in their platform. So you can, ask AI which one would be, most cost effective for you, or which one has, better tools for you to use. Like I said, I used Higgsfield, I'm going to try to spell it right and put it in here. If any of them have a free trial, I would always use the free trial, because these ones get expensive. And play with it a little bit. Double check, if you're going to use it for your business, that you are using the level that you're licensed for commercial use. A lot of people will sometimes there's like a base level and it's not licensed for commercial use, and you can get in a lot of trouble that way. Anything that you're using, read the fine print. I am not an attorney, but I read the fine print for everything that I'm using, especially all the AI tools. Be eyes open on what you are putting into it for your prompts. Never give it anything proprietary or things that you don't have, open access on the web to, because who knows where that's going, right? But especially be careful that if you're using something for your business, that it is licensed for commercial use. And different levels will have that. Okay, let's see. Did we have any other questions, or anybody want to see anything else? Let's see. I see another message. How do you navigate AI around people who are hesitant or against it, like the scriptwriter from earlier? Well, he works for me, so that was pretty easy. I was like, we're going to do this. I've worked with him for 20 years, so we have a very good relationship. And he knows that it is not going away. So he has his personal, I hate it, but when he saw that, he was like, oh, I'm on board. So we've done like 3 or 4 since then. So yeah, he's 100% on board now. We are always careful, just like I said, in terms of, commercial license, making sure anything that even the music on that was AI generated. But again, I use the platform that the usage part of my, monthly fee was it's commercially licensed. You have to check all of that. If your audience is all, against AI, then no, you probably shouldn't be using it. You alone know your audience and what they are comfortable with and what you are comfortable with, right? So AI is the Wild West out there right now, but it can do amazing things. I use it for my business. I use it for my client's business, but that is a personal decision. Okay. All right. Any other questions on where we are? Yeah, Voice is 11 Labs, yes. Yeah, so it's the spelled out 11 Labs, ELEVEN LABS. All right.
No more questions. We're
No
good.
more questions. So my way that I approach any new project is I use AI as a brainstorm partner that I can bounce ideas off of, and I will ask it, what other information do you need from me to help make this a better output? And it will tell you what it needs from you. A lot of people just type in a prompt and think, okay, I'm done. Let's see what it gives. And it will give good generic stuff, but you want it to be totally customized to you and your needs with it. So ask it what it needs from you to give you better output. All right. Okay, so I don't see any other questions, but we still have some time. So let's go back to here where we were left off on our post that we were doing. I lost my, here we go. There we are. Okay. Your posts all have analytics, each one of them, that you can use to see how they're doing. Your analytics are going to tell you which of your posts are getting the most engagement, likes, comments, etc., impressions, views. Do more like that. So pull up every month your top 5 posts by engagement. On each of your posts, you can look and see, when you're in your admin, what the engagement and the analytics are on each post. If it's a single post, maybe just a text or text with an image, expand that into a longer blog or a video using AI to help you expand that. Then test the same idea in a different format on a new platform. This just gives you a way to start seeing which type of content is working better for you. Then schedule it again in like 3 to 6 months with a little different angle on it. I love the idea of repurposing content for say holidays, from one holiday to the next, not a lot of people are going to remember what you did last year. And even if you're like hesitant about that, take the idea and repurpose it, repackage it, saving a lot more time and energy that way. So what if you have a social thread, right? You've seen threads on, say, X that have, you just keep clicking through because there's limited character count. But a really great thread, it's already kind of an article outline. So every X post is one section of your article. And then you have a hook, and that's your headline and your intro. And your final tweet, that's your conclusion or your call to action. So your replies and comments, those are the FAQs that you can answer. High engagement threads it's proven topic demand. Okay, are there AI tools that can help automate social contents? So I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. What are you looking to automate on your social? Are you looking to have it automate the content itself, to create the content? Yes. Do you want it to automatically post that content to your social channels? Yes. So I'm not exactly sure what you're referencing to, but probably the answer is yes. There are absolutely AI tools that can work as an agent for you. It's the newer forms of AI, like ChatGPT, everybody knows what that is. Now there are tools that do more, and even ChatGPT is moving in that direction. All of AI is moving in that direction, and it's what they call agentic AI. That means it can act on your behalf. But be careful, because now you're kind of like letting it go without you really overseeing everything if you're not careful. Always keep in mind, you be the control. You oversee everything that it's doing. I hear horror stories all the time. I read a lot of social on this very topic. And one guy let one of the AI agents use one or its own capabilities to build things, like when I built this presentation that takes a certain amount of tokens. You're only allowed so much a month, and if you run out, you can buy more for that month. Well, the AI agent kept running out of tokens. It kept doing stuff, and he said all of a sudden he was getting alerts on his phone. You're being charged another $100. Oh, you're being charged another $100. He said if he hadn't watched those alerts, he could have been in a lot of trouble, because he gave the agent access to his credit card. So heads up. Okay. Someone's saying ChatGPT's gotten much better at creating images. Absolutely. It had an upgrade about 2 weeks ago, and the images are beautiful. Absolutely. Jet saying, what do I think of Claude? I believe it's Claude, Claude, and I am using it now. And actually, Claude did this presentation. Yes, I like it. Okay. Any other questions? I think we're good. Basically, I just want you to get excited about the tools that are out there. Jet, did you have a question? I see a hand raise. Jet, do you want to unmute?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in a meeting today, and a friend had this little black box, and it like will record her voice and translate it, transpose
Transcribe it. Yeah.
Is that because I said, what is that called? And she said Plod, but maybe it is Plod.
Maybe that is. So
is it a new thing? It's something, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, and maybe it is. I just thought, sorry, that you meant Claude, which is the agent that I used. You might have to just look that up, but I've heard of many tools like that you just set it next to you and it will transcribe everything that you're talking about. And I believe it does take out the ums and awkward silences. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, she said it does.
Perfect. Anyway, I think this new stuff is amazing. It's a game changer. And really that's what this webinar, this whole series is about, is to to show you some of the new tools to get you excited about what you can do to make your content creation easier. It is never going to be easy. We have to create so much stuff for our businesses, but the tools can make it feel a little bit easier. And I think it's fun. So there you go.
All right. It was another very informative and exciting
Nice.
webinar. Thank you. Thank you
Absolutely.
so
We'll
much,
have to
Ray.
do one on creating those videos. It
Yes.
is definitely a process. It's I would call it an advanced move, but it's nothing that anybody here couldn't do. It's just a little bit of what do I do? And that's what we do for clients. I could tell you all day, these are the platforms I use. You open them up and you're like, because none of them come with instructions. Remember in the before times, you got instructions with everything you got. The first time I got a Mac computer or my iPhone, there are no instructions in it.
Exactly.
And that's what
Exactly.
the AI tools look like. There's no instructions. So a big part of my business is for me to be the instruction manual. So
That's great. Wonderful. Ronnie, Sandra is asking for your contact information. Can
oh,
you-
sure. Let me put it in chat here. My email is, I just put it in chat, Ronnie at harmony3productions.com. Remind me that we met at a PACE webinar. Yes, I'd love to connect.
All right, great. So if you're interested in creating, your content using all these AI tools, you have to join our next webinar. It's on June
Absolutely.
11th, same time, Thursday at 1 p.m. And we'll be discussing about Canva plus ChatGPT. So
Exactly. So those are really the two tools that I use most often because any of the, and you can use ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, all kind of, some will do more than others, but that's where I start with my long form content. But you still got to make a way to make it look good. So whether that's a post or whether it's a video or a carousel post, Canva is what I use to make them look good.
Totally. All right. So until we see you again on June 11th, hope everybody has a good rest of the day. And bye for
Absolutely.
now.
Thank